So what's going on, everyone in YouTube world? This is the Cockney Biker and I hope you're all keeping well. Well, quick update on what's going on in my life. A few weeks ago, well a couple of weeks ago, I took Cherry out for a spin, my BMW K1600, which is in desperate need of a wash. We're hitting like the flipping allergy season, so there's pollen everywhere, so there's a light dusting on anything. Now you can see it if it's all black. So anyway, so I took Cherry out for a spin. Didn't go too far, you know, just went over to a friend's house. I jumped on her like to run back and the battery just upped and died. Now the battery came with the bike as factory, so it was 5 years old to begin with. And it was just its time, you know. When I bought the bike, it didn't have but like, you know, 5,000 miles on the clock, so you can imagine it was probably just stuck in a garage somewhere for months at a time, and the battery just went flat. They recharged it, went flat again, recharged it, and so, you know, it died a death. So I went scouting around on the internet looking for a new motorcycle, well, a new motorcycle battery. I was going to say get a new motorcycle. Yeah, let's see that run by. Let's run that by Dawn and see what she says. Anyway, I found some really cool write-ups about a battery called an Odyssey. So here's my bit of advice about buying a battery, especially one online, and more specifically for over the Odysseys. Now the Odyssey battery gets like rave reviews, and it's been pretty well established that it's good for a BMW K1600. Let's do some overtaking here. So yeah, the reviews were saying that it's great for the K1600, fits perfectly. However, there's a little asterisk with that. You see, the BMW K1600 has a very thin battery. So the battery, the Odyssey that I bought, is actually called a P680. Now there are two types of P680s, one that come in a metal jacket for extra protection and one without. You have to, if you've got a BMW K1600, you have to buy the one without the protective jacket. Otherwise it's not going to fit in your little battery cubby hole. Now the only pain in the arse thing about ordering a battery online is that the United States Postal Office, they don't deliver them. It has to go via UPS or FedEx because it technically is a contaminated or a dangerous item because it's obviously acid. Now the Odyssey like P680s, they're sealed batteries, so you don't have to like put acid in them or anything, which is handy as Harry. But it also means that like if they end up on their side, which actually that's how it was delivered, they don't leak. And so that's a pretty handy thing to have in and of itself. So anyway, slipping it in was nice and easy, and it came with like a couple of brackets that fit perfectly for the K1600 and probably a number of other bikes as well. Now when you buy it on Amazon, you'll see that it'll give you an option. Do you want to buy extra bracket or a different type of bracket? If you're not sure what you're going to get or what type of connection that you're going to be using, then you're going to be buying both of them. Now the total charge for all that is like about $150 something, when really the battery in and of itself is like only like $128 at the time of this recording. Now that being said, I spent like the full $150 something to buy all of it because I didn't know if it came with the brackets. Well, I will tell you that it does come with the brackets as part of like the $128 battery. If you've got a motorcycle and you just plug it into the motorcycle. Anything else like, you know, 4x4 with, you know, or some other vehicle, then, you know, I don't know. You'll have to look it up. I couldn't find information to find out whether I needed those extras or not. I might return them, I might just keep hold of them in case of something else, I don't know. I'm still debating about it, but I could have saved myself like $20 if I'd have just bought the battery in and of itself. So she went in there nice and easy, I hooked up the cables and she came to life, and here she is back to normal again. No worries with light charging or, you know, straining the battery when I'm starting her up. Now I was debating whether to go with a lithium battery. In fact, you know, I was almost going to pull the trigger on like a $400 lithium battery, but then I thought to myself, well, here's the thing, I mean, lithium batteries will last like 10 years. and thousands of charges. But I just couldn't get past the concept that, hey, if you're going to start that battery up on a bike that, you know, sub-zero temperatures, if you're in Alaska or something, it might blow up on you. I don't know, I didn't like that. Even though this particular lithium battery that I was looking at was like pretty much guaranteed to work even in sub-zero temperatures with no problems whatsoever. I think it's like the amp hours that I didn't like, because lithiums, they don't have many amp hours. Like if you leave a light on with a typical battery, you might see 4 or 5 hours before it drains. With a lithium battery, you'll see 2 or 3 hours. So I was kind of, I don't know, because this bike sucks up a bit of juice when it's sitting still, because it's just monitoring for an alarm. Then again, I could have gone with a gel battery, and I had my options. But then, you know, I don't see myself continuing to own this bike for another 10 years or something. I'm not like that. I love a machine, it'll go on forever. But if they come out with a new version of this bike, which has a really nice TFT screen, and they've ironed out some of the criticisms they might have had in the past, then, you know, I'm trading this baby in. They say it's cloudy today. If this is what they call cloudy, then you know what? They're going to say it's the same thing this weekend. We're going for a ride this weekend, and it's going to be gorgeous. So anyway, like I said, I mean, what is there to really review when it comes to a battery? Does it last? Does it do its job? I mean, for the first year or so, yeah, maybe they do. But Odysseys of I've seen people like with like 10-year-old Odyssey batteries and like, you know, replacing them with a new one, saying I'm sticking with Odysseys because they last. So they say you'll get about 10 years out of this battery. One thing about slipping the battery in that I've got to mention though, is that the Odyssey battery is just as thick, perfectly shaped for the cubby hole on the BMW K1600, but it's a bit shorter. So the little grabbing mechanism that you have to screw down to hold the battery in there, you've got to hold it down with something. You've got to like stuff something between that and the battery. Otherwise the battery might bounce about a bit if you're on a particularly bumpy road. I don't really think that would affect it too much, but you know, if you can avoid causing any aggravations, then absolutely go ahead and do so. So I was like, you know, a couple of weeks without a bike while I was waiting for this delivery, which meant that I had to go for a ride. And the only way I was going to go for a ride was on the back of the Indian with Dawn. You know what? That girl's a champion. She really is. Of course I was nervous to begin with, but like as the ride went on, I became less and less nervous until I could have been on the back with anybody. I want to get past this motor. So yeah, I've been warning you, like in my spring ride video, that normally it's best to check your battery, and I did check my battery, and it still had a teeny bit of life, but it just wasn't holding a charge anymore. Like I said, they're normally the first things to do when you lay your bike up, and you know, even on a tender, batteries are like pretty much the first things to go. So, oh well. Anyway, did not want to see this day go to waste without a little bit of a ride. Though I really should be cleaning the bike up a bit. Oh, I might as well check and see if the radio settings are all back to normal. Alright, well, channels are saved as normal, I think. It's funny you have to reach down there to like change channels and or mess about with the radio. Bit of a strange place to put it, but I get it. I mean, once you've got it set, you can set a lot of the controls on the whiz wheel. So anyway, that's my story. How are you doing? So that's all I've pretty much got to say about the battery. I hope it lasts. I'm sure it will. For all intentions and purposes, this may well be the last battery that I buy for this bike. In the meantime, everybody, you all take care of yourselves. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button. It's just down there. There's some more videos hovering around here somewhere. You all take care of yourselves. You ride safe. This is the Cockney Biker. And as always, laters!